Pretty much everyone knows how to prog in Deepwoken, but with the new progression methods, it's gotten a bit harder. I mean, I'm sure that half the player base, including me, can't solo the Deep Crucible. And it's not like everyone has friends to do it with either. So that's why I'm here. In this video, I'm gonna show you the easiest and fastest way to prog in Deepwoken. Let's get right into it. Pre-progression. As we all know, there are things in the character creator that can either enhance or slow down your progression. Now, there are two things here that are important to your progression. There's a flaw called simple, and then we got the Voidwalker origin. The simple flaw basically just slows you down with the exchange of 2 points for boons. Because usually you would have to pick 2 boons and 2 flaws, but since simple is the only flaw with 2 points, that's what most people tend to choose, which is wrong. You can just choose 2 other flaws specifically if you want to prog faster. The rest aren't even too bad, you can always wipe if you feel like it's not going your way. The Voidwalker origin is the only origin that slows you down, since it's more player elimination based. But if you want to go Voidwalker, you do have to know that it is slower, and if you do go Voidwalker, at least don't go the simple flaw, because then your progression won't be as slow. Those two as a combination is what makes your progression take 6 hours compared to the usual 2 to 3 hours, if you were just not to pick simple, and even less with an origin like Lone Warrior. Power 1 through 5. When you first spawn in, the most obvious thing to do might be to go to Trial of 1 directly. But no, to level up faster, you start off by completing 2 island events before going off to Trial of 1. And the reason you do that is because you gain extra training points that can help you level up faster. A reminder is to not use those island training points directly, but to wait until you're done with Trial of 1. And if you can't do Trial of 1, keep doing island events until you are Power 5 and skip to the next step. Also, you can obviously use the points you get now since you aren't doing Trial of 1. When you are done with Trial of 1, you should be around Power 3 to 4. At this point, all you really need is a few island events and then you should be done with this step of your prog. Also, if you have chosen the origin Lone Warrior, you will get the Mark of the Lone Warrior talent, which basically makes progression even faster if you prog by yourself, which most of us already do. This origin is highly recommended if you need to rush the progression. Now from now on, you get 2 choices. 1, you can keep doing islands till you build shrines, or 2, you can move on to the next step. If your XP is good with islands, then keep on doing that. If not, let's go to the next step. Power 5 till Shrine of Order. Now you should be Power 5, and well, it's time for you to go to the Eastern Luminant. In this Luminant, you will start off by going to one of the most dead places in the game, which is Song Seeker. Sadly, you have to. Essentially, you can grind here until you reach your level for Shrine, which is often between power 8 and 11. If your build requires a higher power for Shrine of Order, then all you need to do is keep on following this guide and power up here in Song Seeker until progression gets slow, and then move on to the next step of this guide. And obviously, you can always go back and Shrine and then keep on following the guide, if that's required. It's simple. In Song Seeker, there are 4 NPCs with 4 attunements you can encounter, being Gale Song Seekers, Flame Song Seekers, Ice Song Seekers, and Thunder Song Seekers. All you have to do is kill them until you can Shrine of Order, and luckily the Shrine of Order is already in Song Seeker, so it's already close. Alright, let's move on to the next step. Shrine of Order till power 16. Now it's time for mid to end game progression. Well, I mean it's still kind of early, but we're getting to mid to end. And as you might have already guessed, it's in Starswept Valley, or better known as Hive. Now this is very basic knowledge, but this is where you will be progging. Now in Hive there are job boards, where you basically collect all your jobs and then go and fight mobs for the exchange of rewards and chests and XP. Now there are a lot of different mobs in Hive, but the most common ones are the Stone Knight, the Alpha Megalodon or Alpha Sharko, the Thresher, the King Thresher, and the Brain Sucker, which is the bats you see almost everywhere. All of these mobs are very easy to kill except for the King Thresher and the Stone Knight, which might require higher power if you don't know how to parry their patterns. Now if you're good at the game or at least below average, you can skip to the next step at power 14 if you want even faster leveling. If not, keep on going until power 16 and then move on to the next step of this guide. Power 16 to 20. Now it's about time you start doing the easiest boss in the game, Ferryman. And sadly, yes, it is required, so if you don't know how to do Ferryman at all, you will never really finish a build, since most builds go over 75 points on either element or weapon stats. So if you can't do Ferryman, pause the guide here and go learn Ferryman, and return to this video when you can beat him easily. From here on out, all you do is Ferryman. This helps you unlock your weapon stats and element stats as mentioned before, and you get a ton of belt progression, which is very important. If you have maxed out the Resonance Progress Echo upgrade, then you will most likely get a belt within 6 to 7 Ferrymans. If not, it can take up to 10 or more depending on how much of the Echo upgrade you have. And that's a really easy progression guide for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you all in the next video. Peace.